Hello everyone and welcome to Selective High School Placement Trial Test Thinking Skills portion for Test 32. Which one is the most likely number needed to complete the following pattern? So, like I always say, you want to first judge if the pattern is going down in column or across in rows. The across doesn't seem to be working quite well because they're not following an even kind of step pattern. So I'm going to take the approach and go downwards. When I do that, I realize that bottom number is a lot bigger than my top three numbers. So we need to do something with those top numbers to get to the bottom one. What we're actually doing is we're timesing these columns. So first and third rows we're timesing. So we get 21 in this case. And then you just plus 8 and you can get 29 as your answer. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on our final one. 5 times something plus 6 will give you 31. And what goes in there is the number 5. So C is your answer for this one. Question 3, we need a code for the word, okay? We have the word flute. And the code for flute is GNXXJ. Since X represents two letters in this case, you know that the pattern is not moving in equal fashion. Okay, it's not like A is equal to M, B equal to N, and so on. Okay, it's kind of going forward. So I want to get out our alphabet and see how it's moving. F to G we have +1. L to N we have +2. U to X we have +3. And you get the gist, okay, +4, +5. So we need a code for piccolo. P to Q is +1. I +2 is K. C, 1, 2, 3 is F. And then +4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is G. At this point, you can cross out B and C. And the next one we'll get T. And for L, we have to +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from L, let's get another pen out. We +6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you land on R. And that's why, we have to do one more. Okay, O +7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you get V. That's why D is the answer and not A. Okay, question 8. We have a missing series question. Usually when they come in pairs like this, there is either a relationship within the pair or the first letters are moving a certain way and the second letters are moving another way. And the latter was correct in this case. The first letters are going +3, -1. Okay, and that pattern is repeating. We have W, +3 is Z, -1 is Y. So +3 -1 +3, we have to get to -1 in our next one. So you -1 and you get C. Now the second pattern, the second letters, they are going +4 -1. Okay, so T +4, X -1, W. +4 -1 +4 -1. So we're going to get to -1 and we get C again. So C is your answer and therefore option B is the correct one. Okay, 12. So this is a matching arguments kind of question. You have to find the structure of our given bit, our given statement, and find the option that follows that same structure. Okay, not the same words, not the same topic, but the structure, the skeleton of the sentence. So what I like to do is replace these with random letters, okay, the actual topics, so that we can figure out the structure, which is what we want. After it rains, so when A happens, plants absorb water. B happens, from the ground to grow. Therefore, without A, B cannot happen. Okay, very similar to option A. Developments in renewable energy caused by investing a lot in new technical strategies will let us combat climate change. So A will help us do B. Therefore, without A, we will not be able to do B. Okay, will not, cannot. So hopefully that makes sense. Try and replace the main bits like that, and you will find the matching argument very easily. Also look for some keywords, okay? Remember our keywords, like therefore is also there. Without, okay? All of these words, and it will be easy to find the matching argument. 19. If Bill ate the gummies, he must have either been hungry or the gummies had expired. If this is true, which of the following must be true? So these are kind of tricky because there are a lot of alternatives, okay? And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. But you have to think about it in terms of the conditions, okay? And the conditions that someone has to fulfill. If Bill ate the gummies, he must have either been hungry or the gummies have expired. There are two conditions here, hungry and expired. And either one of them must have been fulfilled for Bill to eat the gummies. Therefore, if Bill did not eat the gummies, then he shouldn't have been hungry and the gummies shouldn't have been expired. Because if either one of those were true, he would have ate them. Okay? Therefore, B is the correct one. Bill was not hungry, the gummies were not expired, and he did not eat the gummies. Okay? Because of this keyword here, if. The if tells us that when this is not true, okay, the absolute opposite would probably happen. So, yep, that's the answer. You can have a read of this solution if you need more information. Okay, 23. So, this is a probability question. We want to pull out 2 blue items and 1 red item, and we have a combination of different ties, T for ties, S for shirts, and P for pants. Now, the reason why they said items instead of pants or ties or shirts specifically is because you can arrange them in any order. You could have blue tie, blue shirt, and red pants, or blue tie, red shirt, blue pants, or red tie, blue shirt, and blue pants. Now, all of these are going to have different probabilities. Why? Because there are different numbers of each. We first need to know that the total outcomes, okay, would be the total number of ties. How many ties are there? 7 plus 3 is 10. Times by the total number of shirts, 14 plus 7 is 21. Times the total number of pants, 12 plus 8 is 20. You times these all together and you realize there is 4,200 total outcomes. You want to try and do the same thing for the next bits, okay? So let's get a green. For blue tie, there's 7 of them. So we have 7. For blue shirt, there are 7 of them as well. We have 7. And for red pants, we have 8 red pants. So we times 8. Times it together and you get 392. Same goes for this one. You have 7 blue ties, 14 and 12. Times it together and you get 1176. Okay, and same this one, 3 by 7 by 12, and you get 252. You can definitely pause and figure this out yourself, okay? I'm just speeding through because we don't have much time. So we plus these together to find the total number of wanted combos, and you realize that that is 1820 of this blue item, red item combo. To find the probability, what you're going to do, let's get another color, is put that what you want over the total number of options. And you can cancel like this, and you can divide top and bottom by 210, and you can actually divide it by 7, and you get 30 and 13. 13 over 30 is the final answer. Okay, that's option D. So quite a long-winded question, but it's a very interesting one. Okay, and if you got this, congrats. And and well done. Okay, if you need a little bit more time solving it, try and look at my solutions here as well. Okay, I've written them out, or just replay this part. Okay, which strengthens Albert's argument? Let's find his argument. So, at Albert's school, it's encouraging children to play at least twice a week. Albert believes that this is not enough and students need to be more active. What would strengthen this? The answer is D. Okay, why? The recommended amount of exercise is 4 to 5 days per week. This directly kind of counteracts or supports Albert's argument that we can't just play twice a week. Okay, the number of days per week is a very important part of his argument, hence why I highlighted it, and therefore must be included in the answer options in some way. Okay, the time, the amount. Another word is the exercise. Okay, this links to the sports and activity. Okay, so there are multiple links here, and that's what we want for a correct answer option. It needs to link really closely to the main statement to be able to strengthen or weaken it, to be able to impact it in any way. Okay, a coding question. So you know the drill, we are going to write, and I'm going to write schools on top. Reason being, we want the word, the real word, to be changed into the code. Okay, so I've written it up. How is it moving? S to U, so we're going plus 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 3, plus 4, plus 4, plus 5, and so on. Okay? Now, to go the other way, the reverse, for trivial, to find the actual code, we're going to minus this time. Okay? So minus 2, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3, minus 4, and so on. So T minus 2 is R minus 2 is P, I minus 2, minus 3, sorry, is F, V minus 3, 1, 2, 3 is S, and so on. Okay, you can figure out the rest. The answer here will be D. Okay, 35 was to do with averages. We have 5 numbers. Average of first 2 is 20 and average of last 3 is 15. Average of all 5 numbers is 1. Averages are essentially just the total of everything divided by the number of people there, or number of things that are there to occupy each portion. So we're going to do the same thing for this one. If the average of the first 2 is 20, we know for sure that the total of the first 2 would be 20 times 2, 1 for each person or each part, which is 40, plus average of last 3 is 15. So we have 15 times 3 to find the total, and you get 45. When you add those together, you get 85. Okay? To find the average of all 5 numbers, all you do is divide 85 by 5, and you get 17. Or option B. Okay, parallel reasoning. Remember what we said about these ones, okay? What we care about is the outline, the skeleton, not the actual information inside. If Jeffrey takes his medicine and gets good sleep, if someone does A and B, he will not, get sick. He will not do C. However, they did C. This means that he either did not do A or did not do B. The most similar reasoning is this one. If, see, it starts with if, okay? If Caitlin apologizes and gets her mom a gift, if Caitlin does A and B, her mom will forgive her, okay? C will happen. However, her mum did not forgive her, so the opposite. C did not happen, meaning Kate either did not do A or did not do B. So I've kind of written it out here for you guys, okay, to examine because it gets a bit messy, but hopefully you guys can process that, okay? What's important are those marker words. If, will not, this means, either, neither, and, or. These words are the important ones. Okay, let's quickly do some takeaways before we finish. So, the first one we'll talk about is code question, okay? For code questions, I want you to pay attention, okay, to the movement of the code, okay? Are we going from the code to the normal word or vice versa? Okay, we don't know which way we're moving, that's going to confuse you. So be careful with that, okay? Always write out an alphabet for reference. Okay, I like to do mine on the front page for easy access, okay? So you can access it really easily. And let's do some other some takeaways. Let's talk about the matching argument questions. The parallel argument, those ones, okay? Pay close attention to the conjunctions, okay, or linking words. These are what form the skeleton, okay, or structure of the argument. Replace all of the juicy bits, or like the subject, object, those bits, okay, with letters. So A, B, C, like we practiced, because that's going to make it easier for you to really zone in and see the actual skeleton. Okay, so that actually wraps up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Until next time, I hope you have a lovely week.